brings you all the love and the beautiful things that you so desire. You know, it's 24 days already to the general elections, the presidential elections, and preparations are in top gear. Have you gotten your PVC yet? The deadline is on the 5th of February, which is in 4 days time. You should do well to go get your PVC. And you know, besides the PVC, the issue of the new Naira notes is another conversation, Esther. And I had another experience yesterday. Again, because I needed cash. I needed money.
Sir, I think you should join on record today. I think we should announce why I think you should join on record today.
Because it wasn't even really a nice one, I must say, and eventually I was able to get cash. Now the situation is like you have money, but you don't have money. Like you have money in your account, but you don't have cash. I wanted to get food yesterday, and I went to a restaurant, and I'm like, okay, POS or transfer. They said they don't do any of the two. Cash, they want.
But those people are not ready
for business. I actually told them on the spot. I said, you guys know what is going on in the country at the time, and you're telling. I wonder how many people will walk into this restaurant and tell you they want to either transfer or use their card to pay, and then you say you don't do. You will lose customers, because I don't expect that at this point anybody should be saying they don't accept transfer or card payment, because you know what is going on in the country. You that you are talking, do you even have access to the cash? I was really upset yesterday, and to think that even someone that sells frozen food around me was like, don't worry, easy transfer. I accept transfer.
Fruits.
I accept even if it's old Naira notes, I accept
Sarah,
it.
You don't get it.
You see a lot of people at the store trying to purchase, and then you know the situation of things, and you're saying you don't accept. I bought
fruits from a grandmother. She had connected with her neighbor, and she's receiving transfers from, when people come to buy fruits, they'll pay herself and her neighbor. So her neighbor sells apples, grapes, and the rest, while she just sells bananas and the pear and agbalumo. So grandma will tell you, don't worry, pay my neighbor, I'll collect my money from her. That's collaboration.
I think that a lot of us need to come to the understanding that this is not the period where you say I don't accept. I understand the technicalities of transactions. I do. Like yesterday, wanted to get units for light, and we're going to pay with our card. And when we got there, the woman who was in charge tried the ATM over and over again. Apparently, there was no service at the bank we were trying to use. So we eventually, now there was no service to pay with card, but the mobile app was working, so we had to transfer the money from that particular bank to another bank, and they make use of the card, and that one was still saying the card is not working, card that we still use that same day. So I understand all of these technicalities when it comes to e-banking and all of that, but as it is right now, we just have to embrace it.
Aside embracing it, I think that we need to now find ways to make life easy for ourselves. I went to a popular shopping mall that has a popular superstore in it, and I saw the queue of people whose cards were declined, waiting. They had like a spot for those who had issues with transactions, and the superstore was giving them like a letter to the bank that they can take to collect them, because I bought something there on the 26th, like I told you, and I haven't gotten my money back. There was a declined transaction, there was an approved transaction. I've sent emails, I have gone to the bank over, and they haven't paid me. So what they are doing now is, if you buy something and you don't get value, like the transaction was debited, and you didn't get value for what you bought, you get a note from them that you can take to the bank. So that's one way of making life easy for people, because my receipts are faded.
In fact, I told you that I had to visit the supermarket as well over the weekend, and I was debited, but the transaction declined. I spoke yesterday, I was in talks with the bank and all of that. It still hasn't been reversed, and I think that at this point banks are really swamped. They're really swamped. So going to the banking hall right now is not even looking. Sincerely,
I don't pray for anyone to have a reason to go into the banking hall right now.
But then you can join the conversation. You want to share your experience, new Naira note, the fuel conversation is still on.
Oh yes.
As well as PVC or any issue at all that you like to contribute to. The phone lines are opened. Call us on 0700-1021-1021. You can also send a WhatsApp message to 0907-224-5018. We'll take a breather now. We'll be back with the headlines.
We're not just any frequency. We're your urban lifestyle station. High Impact 102.1 FM.
Love Sales, a sweet treat for a romantic getaway. Ever thought of taking your partner on a romantic cruise adventure? Join us to experience the Love Boats Cruise on the Valentine's weekend at High Impact Cupid Cruise. Coming up on February 12th, 2023. Featuring 3 hours cruise, delicious meals and drinks, guest artist, Gucci, MC and comedian, saxophonist and live band, music from a reputable DJ, lots of games and activity, beautiful view on Lagos water, and lots more. For inquiry, please call 0815-181-9580 or 0813-803-7673 or visit our website at www.highimpactcruise.com.
Beyond the everyday conversations, away from the noise and rumors, despite the trends, every word counts and it stays on record. Every weekday, 9 a.m. on your urban lifestyle station, High Impact 102.1 FM. Call us 0700-1021-1021. WhatsApp 0907-224-5018.
Join us Mondays to Fridays at 7:05 a.m. to 8 a.m. for freshly baked stories on the newspaper review at High Impact 102.1 FM. Follow us on social media at High Impact 102.1 FM or call 0700-1021-1021. You can also send WhatsApp messages to 0907-224-5018. High Impact 102.1 FM, your urban lifestyle station.
Welcome back. If you just joined us, this is Newspaper Review on High Impact 102.1 FM, and Esther and I are still here. Do not forget to join the conversation. The phone lines are open. 0700-1021-1021 is the number to call, and send your WhatsApp message to 0907-224-5018. Let's delve straight into the dailies this morning. Let's begin with the Punch newspaper. What does it have for us? It's talking about the new Naira racketeering. That's on the front page, and that's the major caption there. It says EFCC to raid Lagos, Kaduna, Port Harcourt currency hawkers. The rider says CBN bars multiple debit card withdrawals, threatens stiffer sanctions. Emefiele meets reps, orders banks to accept old notes after deadline.
Yes.
Emefiele meets reps, orders banks to accept old notes after deadline. So this is a good one. In case you still have your old notes, you can still deposit it after the deadline. But then my place of concern is, banks would accept it after the deadline, but that means it will not still be a legal tender. It can't still be spent. It's just for you to go and deposit it in the bank, which is also a concern because expert analysts have talked about the fact that in a situation like this, the old note and the new note is supposed to be used simultaneously while the old note phases out gradually with time. But you have that there. And the last rider to the story says central bank stops old notes payouts, commotion persists at ATM points. Details on page 2. I've seen people actually get into heated argument and quarrel at ATM stands over this.
That's one place people are avoiding right now.
Sincerely, Esther, you
just
don't
to maintain your sanity. You don't. If not, I feel is important. Another place that people are trying to stay away from right now is the fuel station.
Yeah. And then you see pictures of ATM gallery at Abuja, Ogun, Lagos with long queues. Still on the Punch newspaper, NNPC ADEX end 24-year production sharing contract. Details on page 30. Reps dump 22.7 trillion naira loan request. Okay, 1 trillion naira borrowing. Details also on page 30. Fuel scarcity threatens elections, national security. That's coming from INEC and CDS. Fuel scarcity threatens elections, national security. Details on page 11. Our 100 bandits ambushed, killed 7 NSCDC personnel. That's coming from a director. Details on page 3. Away from that story, 1 killed as tanker crushes 3 Lagos tricycles.
Oh, not again. Please.
Sincerely, it's been too rampant.
On Sunday, on Tuesday,
it's been too rampant.
It can't be like that. It can't.
Something needs to be done about this
please.
situation. You see vehicles, trucks, tankers that are in very terrible conditions, carrying really heavy stuffs
on bad roads,
and then you see there's no stability. And sometimes these truck or tanker drivers are pretty rough themselves. You know that your vehicle is not in very good shape, you know that the road is not really motorable, it's bad, and you still go ahead to speed like it doesn't matter. I think at this point, authorities that are responsible for issues like this need to take this more seriously, and maybe give a sort of punishment for people that are involved in issues like this.
Can we have a timetable so that they are not on the road at the time the rest of us are on the road? How about that? Can they please start moving at 11 p.m. or 12 midnight or something?
I've heard someone, talk about this, that in some developed countries, some other parts of the world, you wouldn't see tankers carrying heavy load or petrol tankers
in the day
plying the roads during the day when other vehicles are, when the road is very busy. That's something I must say. But away from that story, protesters Ekwere Madu wife appear in United Kingdom court. We have this story on page 7. And lastly, on the Punch newspaper, Labour Party governor candidate, others boycott Obi's Yola rally. Details on page 8.
0700-1021-1021. That's the number to call. I'll take that again. 0700-1021-1021. How are you starting the month of February? Let us know. 0907-224-5018. That's the number to send us a WhatsApp message. And thankfully, we are live on YouTube. We're streaming live at High Impact 102.1 FM, so you can put a face to the voices and you can leave your comments in the comment section. You can let us know your top story for today. Sarah, do you have the message we have right now? Should I move on?
Please take
okay. The message starts this way. How can fuel scarcity threaten the forthcoming election? I beg you, all quarters are very much confused. If the prime purpose of the Naira redesign was to discourage votes buying during the forthcoming elections, then the purpose has been defeated because CBN would keep accepting it after the deadline. Why subject us to so much hardship? EFCC should just swing into action by arresting those involved in Naira racketeering. Why give them heads up? Okay, I just read 2 different messages. The first one is from Emeka Ikoku from Igboshoro. The second is from Shani. Thank you so much for your messages. You can keep it coming. 0907-224-5018. That's 0907-224-5018. That's the WhatsApp line, and you can call us 0700-1021-1021. It looks like an entire segment can be dedicated to just understanding what people are going through with the cash situation.
People are not really going through. It's not a funny situation, because yesterday, like I said, I had to make use of, and I was able to interact with a number of people that I met.
Okay.
And they were all in so much pain. Another concern is there are people who don't even have this money. Okay, take for instance people that probably just have 5,000 naira in their accounts and they need to survive, and then you're telling them that before they can withdraw that 5,000 they'll pay 500.
That's so the value
for charges.
of money.
So they are taking 10%. So if I want to withdraw to 20,000 naira, I'm going to either pay 22,000 naira or I will get 18,000 naira.
But don't you think the attitude of trying to cash out when there is a new policy in Nigeria is also a problem?
I mentioned it yesterday that sometimes we are the ones that are actually doing ourselves.
Yeah, but are those POS operators not buying this cash? Because that's what they're saying right now.
So I spoke to one of the women and she said, madam, this is how she said it, madam, we dey queue for, pardon me, I'm trying to say we dey queue for bank. The queue, they easy at all. We go stay. That means they have to stay on the queue for a very long time before getting that. So it's like, for this stress I've gone through, I need to get.
Okay, this is the value for the stress.
Do you understand? So they are talking about the fact that they go through the stress of queuing at the banks, hustling to get the money and all of that. So they have to now charge at exorbitant rates and all of that. But it's very worrisome, sincerely. And that's why some people would rather than paying that 1,000 naira on 10,000 naira. Some people tell you, I can't do it. I'm going to wait at the ATM or enter the bank. And the banks sometimes do not have money at the time.
Wow.
Yes, I know that on Monday, I spoke with a friend, and she was like, "There's no money currently at the bank." So people are really rushing in to get cash. So cash that would have circulated for maybe 5 hours, for instance, is being exhausted within 2 hours. That has been the situation.
0700-1021-1021 I haven't gone into other papers. That was just the Punch newspaper that Sarah took. Now let's get into the Vanguard newspaper. We start with matters of elections. It says elections logistics in danger with fuel scarcity, and that is coming from INEC on page 5 with a couple of riders. I'll take that headline again. Elections logistics in danger with fuel scarcity, INEC. The rider says we're mobilizing about 100,000 vehicles, 4,000 boats for deployment of personnel and materials to 176,846 polling units spread across 8,809 registration areas in 774 local government areas nationwide. This is according to Yakubu. NNPC assures electoral body of adequate supply. Things will change before polls, Tinubu's spokesperson. INEC should double-check transport unions, LP. We're hoping it will be brought under control, PDP campaign. That's on that story alone. On page 9, we have PVCs. Obi insists over 3 million Nigerian students must vote, meets EU observers, and that is on page 9. There's a response to this particular, I don't want to say a response, a connecting headline to this on the Punch newspaper. When I'm done, I'll take that up.
I actually saw that story.
Yeah. FG cracks down on petrol marketers, orders end to smuggling. That is on page 8. FG cracks down on petrol marketers, orders end to smuggling. DPO, 2 cops, 3 women, children killed in fresh headers attacks in Benue, and that's on page 6. Sad news there. IMF upgrades Nigeria's 2023 economic growth projection to 3.2%. Let's see how much I can take before we take a break. Naira redesign. No Nigerian will lose money. That is according to Emefiele. Right now we have to take a break because we have an ad to play. When we come back, I will give you Mr. and Mrs. on the Vanguard newspaper. Do stay tuned.
This is your everyday companion.
Everyday companion.
High Impact 102.1 FM.
Welcome to On Record.
Every word matters.
What am
want to do is to take Nigeria from consumption to production.
My name is Mr. Innocent Chuboma. I started by trading on motorcycle spare parts.
They really ask, how much is the Nigerian life worth?
Policing is everybody's business, not the business of the men on uniform alone.
We will establish student loan 4 years course or the 4 years course.
When you dispense, a pharmacist dispenses a drug to a patient, the name of the drug must be written on the envelope.
On Record is a 45-minute program where we discuss the actions, inactions of government, ministries, departments, and agencies, as well as business and health affairs that shape our worldview.
Join us 9 a.m. every weekday on your urban lifestyle station, High Impact 102.1 FM. On Record.
Every word matters.
The business terrain can be tough, challenging, and murky. You need to be armed with superior intelligence, resilience, and knowledge to be able to triumph. Do you desire to thrive in business and become a reference point? Then join us every Monday on High Impact Radio 102.1 FM for TLIG, the Land is Green Business Show. Showtime is on Monday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mopolu Shade, Shonaike, and Kehinde Ajose are your hosts. It promises to be educated, empowering, and thought-provoking.
Join us Mondays to Fridays at 7:05 a.m. to 8 a.m. for freshly baked stories on the newspaper review at High Impact 102.1 FM. Follow us on social media at High Impact 102.1 FM or call 0700 1021 1021. You can also send WhatsApp messages to 0907 224 5018. High Impact 102.1 FM, your urban lifestyle station.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, where have you been? It's your urban lifestyle station, High Impact 102.1 FM, and this is the newspaper review where we analyze the dailies with you, get your thoughts on major headlines, and we get your messages as well. So far so good. We have been receiving messages back to back. However, there's a slight problem. We need your name and need to know where you're coming from so that we can put an identity to the messages, okay? So please let us know your name and where you are sending your message from, and also let your calls keep coming in. 0700 1021 1021. Our WhatsApp number 0907 224 5018. Just before the break, Sarah gave us the Punch newspaper headlines. I took the Vanguard newspaper, but I promised to give you what is happening in that corner there. Mr. and Mrs. Mr. is saying changing the old Naira notes to new ones is driving everyone nuts. This, coupled with fuel scarcity, is too much for me, so I expect you to manage. These are trying times, you know. Mr. is talking to Mrs. And Mrs. responded with her face in the opposite direction, saying, then keep trying.
Mrs. doesn't want to hear we have to manage or we have to,
On a second thought, are you sure this thing is not causing, tension in homes?
Well, like the first situation now, imagine you probably there's no power and you used to put on your gen from, let's say, 7 to 12, and then you probably have to cut it down to like 7 to 10. And I think everybody just needs to understand this period. This is a very peculiar time, and it's important that we all understand this peculiarity. But let's delve straight into the Daily Trust, rather the Guardian newspaper. This morning on the front page of the Guardian newspaper, cash squeeze intensifies, stalls business transactions. There are a number of riders to that story. Emefiele says CBN will still collect old notes after February 10 deadline. CBN uncovers mismanaged 4 million naira new notes in Ogun. Knocks commercial banks. Online transfers take days to complete. Disputes increase. POS merchants ration cash, increase charges to 10%. Yes. Banks reduce ATM withdrawal limits to 5,000 naira. And the last rider to the story says, Fale Capet Emefiele says policy likely to disrupt 2023 polls. Those are the riders to that story. Just above that, PDP condemns Tinubu's alleged threats to Governor Emmanuel. Details on page 4. Ekwere Madu and wife in court as trial continues today. Details also on page 4. On page 28, you've missed deadline. Name your presidential candidate. Peter Side taunts Wike. And on business page 15, IMF urges central banks to stay vigilant. Revises Nigeria's growth to 3.2%. You see a picture of a long queue at the ATM gallery in Lagos, Nigeria yesterday, and you also see a picture of the CBN governor as well as members of the House of Representatives in a meeting at the National Assembly complex in Abuja. Away from that story, violence, internal crisis, campaign rallies in Niger and Rivers State. Details on page 6. And lastly, on the Guardian newspaper, Dariye Nyame's release major setback in Nigeria's anti-corruption wars, says TI. Panorama page 2.
0700-1021-1021. That's the number to call. 0907-224-5018. We're live on YouTube at High Impact 102.1 FM. Gosh, those headlines. Let me exhale. But Daily Trust gives us a different view this morning. If you look at the front page, you'll be wondering what exactly is going on here. But it's talking about the visit of the president recently. But I'll start with the main caption I see, the main headline. January vow. Wike-led G5 fails to name presidential candidates. And he has some riders. Otom, Makinde, Ikpazu, Ugwanyi in a fix. Abia governor lobbies to replace late anointed candidates. We're sure of reconciliation. Atiku campaign. They have run out of steam. That's according to Kari. Beneath that, you've done very well in infrastructure. Febuary tells Ganduje commissions 9 projects in Kano State, and you can see the project on the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. But what's your top story? 0700 1021 1021 0907 224 5018. There's some stories there's a particular headline on Daily Trust that is quite catchy about politics. 2023, I'm in talks with Kwakwanso. Obi says Atiku. That's 2023. I'm in talks with Kwakwanso. Obi says Atiku, and that's how we saw it on the Daily Trust this morning. And a lot of Nigerians are asking questions. If you're in talks, what are you talking about at this time? Are you sure it's not too late? Are you sure it's not too, are you sure it's a fantastic idea? But beyond that, I also want us to look at the state, some headlines about students and students' participation in politics.
Yes, so I saw that headline and it took me back to a conversation I had with one of our guests in person of Barrister Timi Olagunju, where we're talking about students' inclusion in politics, how youths who are still students form a majority of those who registered to get their PVCs, and at the period they're probably receiving lectures or writing exams, and opportunities not given for them to come down. And just last week there was an update where the reps asked federal government to shut down schools to allow students votes. That story was like 5 days ago when we got that update, and then this morning we're seeing that the NUC has come out to say they can't shut schools for elections. That's coming from ASU. And
but I think of this thing very well. When you were in school, were schools open during election?
No, I remember my mother would even be sure that you are home. The only period I was away from home during election was when I was 7, because my service year fell with in the electioneering period. So come on, I couldn't come home. I wasn't a part of the, at the time, core members used to be a part of the whole process. I wasn't a part of the whole process. However, I wasn't home. I was at my place of primary assignment. And I know that even though all my years in school, the period where there was election, primary, secondary, university and all that, I was always in the house.
Okay.
But it's not the same for my siblings. At least my brothers, they've written exams during elections. Yes.
Wow. That has never happened in my school.
There was a particular time they had to stay back to write. I know my mom's heart was like, so I think with the way it is now, there's no outright policy that says students have. That's why reps are. So if this is fully implemented, it will now be breaching a particular segment of the law or whatever it's going to be when you now ask students to write exams or be in school at the period of elections. Do you understand? And to think that some students will not even travel, even if they say students should.
I wanted to say that too.
Some students will not travel. Imagine you probably school in let's say Zaria.
Yeah.
You understand, and you register to vote at home, and maybe your home is Ogun State, and then you have to travel. Maybe it's a distance actually, and you have to travel by road. A lot of people will start to consider certain things. We've not talked about the insecurity situation, where you traveling is not absolutely safe, in all honesty, and then you now have to take that journey and come home. You spend money. You spend a lot of money on transportation, and all of this. So there are two sides to this actually.
I had a side to it today, but 0700-1021-1021. What's your side to that story? 0907-224-5018. That's 0907-224-5018. You can leave us a message. I heard a Nigerian say that if students don't prioritize voting, the next time they experience any form of strike, they should not complain. Yeah, he just said it bluntly, and I'm like, okay, you also have a point. He said if they don't prioritize, if they don't find this thing as important as their lives, but also if you have a project and your supervisor says,
I was getting to that. Imagine you're running your project and your supervisor is giving you a timeline, a deadline, and you have to meet up, or you have a defense, or your school did not actually give break.
Oh, you're even struggling with your results. Like you saw your previous result and
you understand?
I can't take this home.
Or you are even thinking about the insecurity situation. You probably live very far, and that's where you're going to cast your vote, and you're schooling in another geopolitical zone entirely, and you don't have so much funds, and you're thinking of insecurity, and you decide. So I don't think that's an appropriate yardstick to measure students' level of commitment or whatever it is to the election process. There could be, that's why I said there are two sides to these things. There could be various reasons why students might not participate in the elections, not because they don't want to, but sometimes some things are beyond them and their hands are tied.
Most of the time they don't run their finances. I mean, they have to depend on people to give them money. So if you're at home where maybe there is a politician that needs your votes, maybe they can now sponsor that students to come home and get, cast their vote. But there's a statement coming from the Labour Party presidential candidate, and them saying that over 3 million.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 million is a huge number. PVCs, this is on Vanguard. PVCs, Obi insists over 3 million Nigerian students must be allowed to vote. One writer here says meets EU observers. I'll take the story. Presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, has insisted that the over 3 million Nigerian students who are eligible to vote in the forthcoming presidential election must be encouraged to take part in the exercise. I heard from our guest, Barrister Abdulhamid, say that even if they ask them to come home and vote, some will not come.
Yeah.
And also the time frame of collecting PVCs is not entirely favorable. If they are going to start coming and they have not collected their PVCs, what's the point? Are we not going to have the same thing that happened in Osun State? In fact, my own concern is undervoting. It's not even overvoting. But let me read what the headline that has to do with NUC. On the Punch newspaper, NUC can't shut schools for elections, says ASU. The Academic Staff Union of Universities on Tuesday said it was not in the purview of the National Universities Commission and other tertiary institutions, regulatory agencies to shut schools to allow students in universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education to vote during the forthcoming elections. A member of the National Executive Council of ASU and chairperson of the union at the Federal University of Technology, MENA, Professor Gbolahan Bolarin, said this in an interview with The Punch. So that is what we have on the paper when it has to do with that particular report. But beyond all of this, it looks like we have died down on our fuel matter. Sarah,
we've not died down on it.
I'm saying Nigerians generally. It looks like people have gotten
this fuel situation has taken a while now. It's about 2 months, and no one saw it coming to stay. It's over 2 months actually. No one saw it coming to stay for this long.
Yeah.
So at this point, Nigerians have so many things to deal with. That's the honest truth.
But
Nigerians are dealing with a lot. A lot of people need money right now.
Should we accept it and say fuel scarcity is part of our reality?
It's not about acceptance. It's about what is happening right now. So, the focus now has diverted from fuel to a large extent to getting money. Because if you don't even get money, how would you get the fuel?
I think it has diverted beyond just getting fuel and making money. They are now making skits. Did you see the video yesterday?
I did.
The water tanker that was rowed.
I did. To the fuel station to get fuel. I saw it, which is just for comedy. And yesterday someone was telling me he wanted to go get fuel about 30 liters and he was looking for cash. And I'm like, you're going to the fuel station, go with your card. He said they are not taking. I'm like, it's a lie. He said no, they're not accepting.
I think some fuel stations.
POS. I'm like, for real, Esther, let's be honest. I think we need to help ourselves better. We are all in this country together. There's nobody that will come out and say he or she does not know the current situation of getting naira notes.
Maybe they are, because I saw a lot of downtime yesterday. Sarah, no jokes. In this superstore, no jokes, and they had the space and time to attend to their customers. So maybe at the fuel station they don't want to be dealing with cash POS issues as well. I'm just saying I know you are saying that yes, if you know your POS does not have a problem, accept the transaction, but I feel like a lot of people don't want issues. A lot of businesses don't want issues. If they make that transaction, your money did not get into the account and you have gone.
That's what I'm saying. That is that part which the service providers and banks, online banking apps and all of that should actually look into. But then we have to embrace something.
True,
we actually
have
to embrace something else. All of us will just be in a situation where it looks like we're not going forward, we're not coming back.
Let me take this headline on the Vanguard newspaper. FG cracks down on petrol marketers, orders end to smuggling. But let us know your top story. 0700-1021 1021 0907 224 5018 0907 224 5018. That's the number to send us a message, and we are live on YouTube. But I'll take the story here that has to do with petrol. FG cracks down on petrol marketers. Orders end to smuggling. It is an order. Orders end to smuggling, and it has one rider. No, it has more than one rider. The first one says, "We are not handicapped. Wants CGS." We are not handicapped. Wants CGS. Kieri accuses depots of loading above the approved price. That one too is another problem. Moman Dapman admits fault, pledge supports. Let me just read the first part here, the first paragraph. The federal government yesterday read the Riot Act to petrol marketers, directing them to end all petrol smuggling out of the country or face stiff action from security operatives. I want to link this to the INEC logistics matter on Vanguard, but 0700-1021-1021. You can call us 0907-224-5018. Now, INEC gave us a report this morning, but I know that I've heard a guest say that there is no way fuel scarcity will affect the elections, that INEC has that sorted. However, INEC has come up this morning to say elections logistics in danger with fuel scarcity. And this is the point that the chairman is saying. He says we are mobilizing about 100,000 vehicles and 4,000 boats for the deployment of personnel and materials to 176,846 polling units spread across 8,809 registration areas or electoral wards in 774 local government areas nationwide. I think that I've taken these riders. Let me just take the first paragraph. Following the continued scarcity of fuel across the country, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, yesterday raised the alarm that the developments could hamper election day logistics. They have raised an alarm. Isn't this some good form of being proactive? Because if on that day they say there is no fuel to take beavers to your polling unit,
I just have a question.
Well, what are you going to do?
I just have a question. With the security situation in the country, transporting election materials via road, is that safe?
Well,
that comes to my mind, because what if this vehicle or whatever it is attacked? This vehicle carrying
but that's the
election.
easiest way right now. We can't. So
Is the easiest, but is it the safest?
a boat cannot move
How
within
about
my
air?
community. Sarah, so maybe we should use helicopters.
Esther, I'm
dropping
being very
these materials.
sincere. I'm being
I
very
know you're
honest,
being
because
sincere.
I'm starting to think about it. When information like this comes up, it puts a certain mindset in the minds of Nigerians, and they know that this is how this is going to be transported and all of that. But what about the security situation?
But that is expensive, Sarah. It is expensive.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying, thinking of using choppers to come and drop election materials at 774 local governments.
Okay.
Because, well, I'm just saying, I feel like I'm trying to put myself in INEX.
Well, the NNPC, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited, has assured INEC that there will be adequate supply of fuel during the elections, that everything is going to be put under control, and election materials, logistics would be delivered safely. So we keep our fingers crossed. Before we go, there's this story I want us to take.
Okay.
It's about the president in Kano State. Okay. And the presidency has come out to say Febuary was not attacked in Kano State. That's on the Guardian newspaper. And it says the presidency on Tuesday described as fake the reported pelting of President Muhammadu Buhari in the Hotoro area of Kano State. It said they reported a divisive rhetoric of an opposition in a futile attempt to malign the image of the president and candidates of the All Progressive Congress in the coming elections. The presidency, in a statement signed by Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity Garba Shehu, said, and I quote, "We have seen fake reports of a stone pelting incident that took place in the Hotoro area of Kano on the day of the visit to the city by the President Muhammadu Buhari on Monday. An incident, even if minor, that should stand condemned by all well-meaning citizens." So the presidency has come out to debunk this, saying that whatever it is that was put on social media is fake, and the president was not attacked in Kano State.
Okay, well, that's why we're here, to give you the headlines on the newspaper review. But that's where we call it a wrap this morning. However, On Record is coming up in a moment. Do you want to share some expectations with us, or should they hold on and just...
Well, I will say that you want to share your experience. Maybe you couldn't call into the show or newspaper review, or you were quite busy, you can also take advantage of On Record. Share your new Naira note experience. Tell us what it has been like and the situation of things. It comes to you at 9 a.m. with Onyepriye Krumale, so you want to stay tuned for that.
Indeed, you want to stay tuned for that, even for all the shows on your urban lifestyle station. This is where we call it a wrap this morning. You want to stay tuned for On Record, like Sarah said, and the newspaper review tomorrow, and every show on your urban lifestyle station. My name is Esther Kalu. As you go out there to do your work, to do your business, to even get cash, buy petrol, do whatever you need to do, please be safe and please watch out for your neighbor. Yeah, till I see you next time, do stay safe. My name is Esther Kalu.
And I am Sarah Olsen. So have a fantastic Wednesday and happy new month once again.
Of radio is here. High Impact 102.1 FM.
Welcome to On Record.
Every word matters.
What I want to do is to take Nigeria from consumption to production.
My name is Mr. Innocent Chuboma. I started by trading on motorcycle spare parts.